Welcome to Rift Forged You. My name is Sean and I'm here to teach you how to film a battle report. Now we'd love to see some more Horus Heresy battle reports. We love watching them ourselves. That being said, this guidance will be good for anyone looking to do battle reports for any system. Now we do a bit of a point of view style battle reports. So if anyone's looking for tips on how to do like the live streaming type battle reports, we don't really have much experience in that, so we won't be able to offer you much guidance on that. This is more point of view, like as you're playing it, and then switching sides for whoever's turn it is recording. Now, the main thing to start a battle report, you're obviously going to need an opponent. Starting up a channel, if you're thinking of starting up a channel, I'd recommend doing it with a friend. There's quite a bit of work in it, doing all the editing and then filming as well. And then if you have guests on, you can rotate, and it keeps a bit of a happy medium between family life and doing battle reports. Now, equipment, you obviously need a camera. Now, you don't need to go out and buy the most expensive camera. You've got something perfect in your pocket probably already, and that's mobile phone. Now, these modern mobile phones have got brilliant cameras anyway, so you're good to start doing battle reports straight away just off that. If you've seen any of our battle reports and you're wondering what camera we use the Canon M50. It's like an entry-level mirrorless camera, really. It's nothing too special, but it does a job very well. And second up, you're going to need some mics. So, obviously, your phones have got a microphone in them, and so have your cameras. Even if you put like a shotgun mic on top, I wouldn't recommend that, because as you're playing a game and your opponent's on the other side of the table, they're further away from the mic than you, so they're going to be quieter, or they might move closer and then start being louder and then go further away and be quieter. It's not going to make for nice audio, and it's going to be difficult to balance it up in editing. So we recommend using lavalier microphones. So if you're using your mobile phone, you need one of these little adapters, because not a lot of the modern ones have a aux connector in them. So you need one of these, basically plugs into your charging port and then converts it to an aux. You need a splitter to make it out into two separate points for your lavalier mic. So you got two lavalier mics that can go into one aux channel. And the phones do actually a good job of balancing it up. There's no off balance on that. But it doesn't work going straight in to this adapter. And the reason is because it's got 3 bands. If you look at the connector, I don't know if you can see there, but it's got 3 black lines. And you basically want one that goes from 3 bands to 2 bands. So we have an extra little converter there. So there's a lot of converting into just get these mics, but these are all fairly cheap to pick up. I think that's probably like a couple of quid at best. And I think that's about 8 quid. So 10 quid and you got your converting. And then your lavalier mics yourselves. We started off with a wired one, and these are really long. They're a Boya one. I'll try and find out where I got them from and leave a link below where you can buy them. I think they're about £18 each, and they're about 2 meters long. And this is so you can, the cameraman could be plugged in to it, and you'll put the excess in your pocket probably, but your opponent will be able to move around the table and not have to be right next to you all the time. And then having that lavalier mic, you won't have issues with them going further away, because they'll always have that mic on them. So the sound should be nice and constant. We obviously upgraded to having wireless mics, and that's even better, because then you haven't got to worry about both of you walking around the opposite sides of the table and running in and out of wire length. They are expensive. At least a couple of £100, but there's 2 main good ones that I'd recommend, and they are the Rode Go 2s, and the ones that we use is the Saramonic Blink500 Pro B2s, and they're very similar sound quality. What won it over for us is that the Saramonic come with 2 lavalier mics anyway, so it just saves buying shorter lav mics. You don't need those big long ones anymore once you upgrade to that. Next up is some lighting. So you can obviously just use whatever room light, like a light bulb on the ceiling, You'll be able to see sort of what's going on. You've got your ISO settings, which will be automatic on your phone anyway, but on your camera you can set them to automatic as well. It will sort of compensate for the low light, but obviously the brighter light source you got, the better image quality it will be, because if you have to compensate to bring in the ISO, it brings in some grainy effect and it's not so nice. So we'd recommend starting off with some sort of like these big photography lights. You can get like a pair off eBay for around 30 quid. Again, I'll leave a link. I won't be able to leave a link to eBay, but somewhere on Amazon, just so you know what we're looking for, and you can see if you can get them cheap on eBay anyway. So you get two opposite ends of the table. They come with some arms and stands, and you can just get a good light source on there, which will show off your models a little bit better. We actually upgraded from those. We just used those for like the intro now. As you can see, I'm using them here. I've got two blind me, and those who have been on and guessed know it's like a bit of an interrogation mode at this point. But now above me, we've got like work lights. We've screwed them into the roof and just facing down, covering all angles of the table, and then one in the center, just add that extra little bit of light. Again, they were like 12 quid, 15 quid maybe each. Obviously 5 of them gets a little bit expensive, but it's definitely worth it to help with the quality of the video. So you got all your equipment. Now you need to start thinking how you're going to structure the video. Now you obviously do not have to copy what we do. You can do whatever you want, but I'll just talk you through what we do. Maybe it'll give you a good starting point. So we like to do an intro, which will introduce ourselves, our guests, tell you what mission we're playing, how many points, and basically what armies we're using as well. And then anything else you really want to talk about, like maybe manage to get some sponsors or something. It's a good way to just quickly nip them in, and you get that part done that you're supposed to do for them. Once we've done our intro, we like to go into the army list. So you can do this a number of ways. 2 good ways of probably doing it is you can take photos of each unit and then do a voice overlay of saying what that unit is and what upgrades you've given them, and just work through your army like that. Or you can do it how we do it. We just sort of do the camera all in one shot and go around for one unit while someone else is reading off their army list. We do it this way for 2 reasons really. It's a lot quicker than setting up taking photos, and it's a lot easier to edit than doing voice overlays. We do use so one person will be filming, and then the other person will be with their list written out on a bit of paper or on Battlescribe or whatever you use. It's the best way to do it really. Obviously when you're going through your army lists, you get nice close-up shots off your models, so it's the best chance to show off someone's painting or your own painting as well. Now into the game. It's just point and play, sort of. So you obviously try and remember where you're pointing the camera. It is quite difficult when you're trying to play a game. I tend to find that I don't make tactically sound decisions when I'm pointing a camera and then trying to think of what to do. I just can't do 2 things at once really. Now when you are recording the background, you do want to narrate, so it's a good idea to sort of say, this is Raven Guard turn 1, and then people who are following along listening, they sort of know, oh right, we're in turn 1, and then when you go Raven Guard turn 3, they're like, oh yeah, we know we're halfway through the game. You can do that for like each phase, so you could go like Raven Guard turn 5 shooting, turn 5 assault phase. We sort of call it out like going into it, but not make a big deal. And between each turn, we sort of have a little cut and a sound. That helps people know that a turn has changed. On the rating during your turn, if you're just pointing and playing, people aren't going to know what's going on, so you need to call out like, this Space Wolf tactical squad is charging this Wild Eater despoiler squad. When they get in, you made a 9-inch charge, tell them what you've rolled, even though you're pointing at the dice if you are doing dice rolls. A lot of people hobby when they're watching battle reports, so if you've got that audio as well, if there's taking a glance and watching it and then looking away to paint something, they'll still know what's going on, so it keeps their interest up and they helps them to get along with it. So call out your dice rolls, what weapon you're shooting with, what strength it is, toughness of your target, what you're looking for to wound, and there's any special rules of why you're getting extra attacks and stuff like that. Just narrate every little rule that you can, and it really does help people along with watching. And if people don't know the game, you're also then helping them to learn the game. So you're like ticking 2 boxes at once. Now you've got a pause button. I'd recommend you use it for when you're like and ahhing about a rule, you need to check something, you don't know what you're going to do next, you've lost your dice, anything like that. There's no awkward silences or anything. So you can push pause, and then you can discuss off camera with your opponent like what your weapon skills are. So when you come to rolling the dice, you go, oh yeah, we discussed this, we know that we're both the same weapon skill, we're hitting on 4s or wounding on 4s, and it's easy as that. There's no then checking. We'd recommend talking with that off camera, because you don't really need to listen to all the bumbling of the rule checking anyway. So just remember, the pause button is your friend and will help you along. So when you're going through that, you're obviously going to come to the end of the game, and then what you're going to do, how you're going to end this battle report. We like to do a little outro, so we'll put the camera back up on stand, we'll come back up here, and we'll do an outro. On the outro, we cover things like what the score was. Always handy to let the viewer know what the score was, otherwise what was the point watching? What went bad, what went well? Was it your dice rolls, or you just tactically inept? That's normally me. Just stuff like that. And you both can just have a friendly chat and let you know which bits you enjoyed, which bit you didn't. Maybe he didn't like your Primarch Death Star that just ran through him. So that's another thing. If you do have guests on, we like to list share, not to list tailor as such, but sort of check that they're sort of on the same level. Obviously, when dice get involved, it can just swing either way, and you can't really help that unless you start rigging the dice, but that's not really a battle report then, you're just fixing the result. So yeah, try and balance them up. You're not being a content creator just to show everyone how good you are trying to actually entertain viewers and your guests. You want people to come back, otherwise you'll run out of people to play with. And boom, there you have it. You've recorded your first battle report. Well done. Now, the worst bit of being a content creator doing battle reports, the editing. You ask any battle report content creator and they will tell you that editing is the worst part. It has to be done. There's no getting around it. Otherwise, there's going to be a bunch of clips that aren't going to match together. So you can pay people to edit for you. I would not recommend it. You're not going to make that much money off YouTube, and it's just going to be a waste of your money. Now, I'd recommend having a laptop or a computer that you have access to, so you can use some editing software on there. 2 good ones that I'd recommend is Shotcut. We started on Shotcut, and it's quite an easy one to learn how to video edit on, but then we moved on to Davinci Resolve, and it's harder to learn on, but it's got so many more options with your audio balancing and all that. So when you come on to your video editing, you obviously, basically you're putting all those clips together, you're trimming the little bits at the start that you're rustling around finding dice, or you've not quite ready, you've pressed start but you're not quite ready. And then you're stringing all those clips together, and then it will make one video. And it's also a chance, if one person's speaking louder than the other, you can also balance the audio so you're both on the same level then. Because you do get some quietly spoken people, you do get some louder people. And you don't want to try and get your audio so loud that it clips, because then it just sounds horrendous. But then again, you don't want it too quiet that people can't hear. So once you've managed to put all that together, you export your video, and this will make it into one clip then, and that will be your video. So as I mentioned, computer or laptop is best on. You can do it on your phone or tablet. Just getting your Play Store or whatever to search video editing apps. There's loads on there. I will say it's a bit more of a pain editing on your phone than it is on the laptop. You've got a lot more control with your mouse and bigger screen and all that. And the software on the laptops has got a lot more options as well. But it's not impossible. So if you haven't got a laptop, I'm saying don't not do a battle report. It just might be something that you might want to invest in later down the road. Now, I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of video editing. There's loads of videos on YouTube how to use the ones that I've mentioned, Shotcut or Davinci Resolve already. If you're looking for those bit of softwares, you can just Google them, but I'll put some links down below so it'll be easy to find for you guys if you so wish to use that bit of software. So now you've exported your video, you've got it, you need to upload it to YouTube. Now, if you haven't already created your channel on YouTube, go do that first before doing anything. It's fairly straightforward to do. You basically create a channel and follow what it says. If you are struggling, again, there's loads of videos on YouTube, how to YouTube. So you just watch a couple of those and it will be explained. And away you go. So when you click to upload, now these back reps, they are like between an hour, 2 hours, maybe even longer for some of the big games. So they're big files, they do take several hours to upload, obviously depending on your internet speed. If you've got like an upload speed of like an insane amount, it's going to go up a lot quicker than mine does. Mine's like, I think my upload speed's like 30 megabits per second. So, and that still takes about 6 hours to upload a 2-hour back rep-ish. So obviously when you've clicked to upload it, you're going to have to put a title in, put a little description. In the description, great place to put all the links you'll see in our description. That's where we're putting all our links. So if you mention anything to your audience and say, I want to leave a link below, that's where you put it in your description. And then you sort of have, not a hashtag system, but some sort of tag. You can just put like a few keywords in there. And in this point, they're going to ask you to upload a thumbnail. So your thumbnail is your little picture, if you didn't know, of what you're looking at when you go to click the video. YouTube will generate one automatically when it's processed the video. But you can make your own. We tend to take a couple of pictures of our warlords or a nice model that we've each got. And then I use an app called Canva. Again, I'll leave a link below just to create that thumbnail. And then once you've gone through that, gone through all your checks, it will still be processing, uploading, because it does take several hours. If that's taking you several hours long, then I don't know what you're writing. And then after it's finished uploading, you can close your web browser. But for all that time, you're going to have to keep your laptop on or your phone on while it's uploading. Just because if it closes the browser, it will get confused and it won't upload properly. After it's uploaded, it will go into a processing stage. Then you can close your browser and stuff. This is all down to YouTube now, processing it to them. No matter how fast your internet is or anything to do with your computer, it's not going to speed it up. It's how free YouTube is to process it. So it will do it in SD first, and then when it's processed in SD, it will release it straight away, and then it will start processing HD. So actually release it in SD first, and people will start watching it, and they might be going, oh, why is it such low res? And it's because it's not processed in HD yet. So we recommend, as an option to publish it at a later date, we recommend doing it a day or two later after you've started to upload it. And this way it gives it a chance to process everything. So when they come to watch it, they can watch it in the best quality that they want to. So now you've uploaded it all, it's ready for release. You might have an Instagram account or Facebook page or any other sort of TikTok, Twitter, any social media. This is your opportunity to sort of throw it out there. Look, I've done a bat rep. Do you mind checking it out? You don't tend to, you'll see on the analytics, not a lot of people like click it, but they'll see your name and then they come back and they search for you later. So it's a good way just for exposure for your channel, especially early days. Just so people know to look out for you, because the algorithm might not necessarily, because you're a new channel, push you to the top. So not a lot of people will see your videos pop up at start. So you want to use those social media outlets to help you at the beginning at least. I will warn you, if you're thinking about getting into battle reports, is they do take a bit of a time. It's not overly hard when you've got a system like what I've just talked through, when you do your intro lists, play your game, you know how you want to film your game. It goes a bit more smoothly and quicker, but they still take several hours. We tend to start about 9 in the morning, and our guests will tell you we don't finish it's not till like 4, 6 o'clock, somewhere in between that time generally is when we finish. So it is a long time. And then after that, you've still got that editing to do. The first couple of videos will take you a while, wait till you learn how to use your video editing software. But after that, it still takes a few hours anyway. So saying that, so you add your several hours for doing the battle report, and then the few hours to edit it. So for every battle report that you see out on YouTube, you got to think that there's been between like 8 to 12 hours of work put in to get that out there, depending obviously how many points have been played. So you should really appreciate the work that people do to come in. That's not just as like every single content creator out there. They do put in some hours to get these videos out. So what I'd say is, like, the comments will obviously come. Some of them are negative. You just have to have a little bit of thick skin and just like gloss over them and go, yeah, okay. A lot of people, if they have something negative to say, it'll be like structured criticism. So it's not all bad. I'd definitely read them and take them on board and go, oh yeah, I could do that a little bit differently next time. And then you'll tend to get a lot. The Warhammer community is great. You'll get a lot of supportive comments, and this really does help, like, us as content creators, and I'm sure it does other content creators. It really helps motivate you, because you've put all those hours in. You don't really get anything back from it, but it motivates you, makes you feel good, and then you're pumped to do the next one. So thanks for watching. I do hope this helps some people to start their own battle report channel, and it's sort of given a good guidance of where to start. Or if you're struggling at the moment, maybe you started one and you're struggling, and this will help you have a bit more structure to it. Maybe you're like, oh, I've only got a phone, can't do battle reports. You definitely can. Obviously, if I've glossed over anything and I've taken it for granted that you might understand what I'm on about, let me know. I will try my best in the comments to explain myself a little bit better. We really hope to see some of you guys making your own battle reports channels, and let us know. We'll go and check them out, watch a few videos. I definitely like watching battle reports and a bit of hobby time myself, and always pick up a few rules off watching other people that I didn't know. So it makes me a better player, watching other people's battle reports as well. So that's me for now. We will catch you in our next video, and hopefully another battle report soon. I've been Sean. I'll see you soon.